My name is Rhonda, and I am bound and determined to stay on this path of self discovery to figure out who I am, because that's all I can do, and everybody else should do the same. But I live in, I want to share some information and a story. I live in a community where there's a lot of elderly people. By elderly, I'm meaning I guess between 75 and 100. Of course, there's younger people, but I've had the opportunity to talk to quite a few different people about their perspectives on life. And it wasn't anything like, what would you do different if you could do that when I were younger. It's their stories about their childhood and and in talking with different people, creating their own story about their life. And one of my neighbors, I had talked to her, and she had just showed up, just got back from wherever she was for the winter. But and I was talking to her. I'd never met her before, and she immediately starts telling me that it's like her husband has cancer, and so they stayed here and stayed there, and that's the reason why they didn't get here sooner, and that her sister isn't doing very well, and she's in the hospital, so she's going to go take care of her sister. And here I am, a complete stranger. First time I've talked to her, first time I met her was when she was telling me all this stuff. I'm very open, where they're from, how many kids they have. And, in talking to people who are, over 75, my dad is 90. So, and just getting their perspective on things and looking at how the morals and the values that people had in the, gosh, what was it, the 1920s, 1930s when they were born, are very, very drastically different. And I can see what parts in that history and those generations that I would want to bring into my life. I was very fortunate. My parents were pretty wholesome people and didn't drink a lot. The biggest problem he probably has when I was a teenager. I don't even know how they put up with me. But just being able to, I've learned more about myself. I've worked for 40 years, worked my whole life, and I took a year off when I moved here. And in talking to this people, I thought, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed to do, was to have a year off, put things into perspective, because so many of these people, it's in Yuma, Arizona, and if you want a job in the medical industry, healthcare industry, there are tons. So, but seeing the elderly people, and the medical technology is great, and there's a lot of things that are really great about it, but it's like that's what their lives revolve around. And so I've been able to observe that and watch that and make some changes about how I want to live my life. This past year has been, very wonderful. I didn't travel or do this or do that or do this. I mostly, I'm a pretty private person, and I do a lot of painting and arts and crafts, and I'm writing a book. So it just gave me a really good perspective on how I want to live my life now and the person that I want to be right now, because of these different stories of these folks that I live around. It's all medical. I mean, our bodies are meant to give out, and with the medical technology and drugs that are available, people can live a lot longer, but it doesn't mean that they have a better quality of life. So even in talking with elderly people, you don't talk to elderly people like that, like you would talk to your friends or your brothers or your sisters or anything like that. I mean, it's a totally different conversation. At least it is for me. I have a lot of respect for that. For first of all, just to be able to live that long. But if you really want to make an impact on yourself and discover some things about yourself, kind of surround yourself with people of generations, the people who were born earlier, in the 19th century or whatever, the 20th century, and see if that makes a difference in your life. And if it doesn't really make you think a little bit about yourself and where you're going and what you want your life to be like in the future. So go ahead and hug an elderly person today. And if you like my videos, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.